This is a $100 million e-commerce brand, but before I expose the 100 million e-commerce store and show what you can do to implement on your brand, I'm going to show you a $5 million dropshipping store just selling on TikTok, a $1 million dropshipping store selling a very boring product, and actually one of my brands doing $100,000 in the last 90 days. But first, we're going to see what $49 gets you when buying a dropshipping brand. This is a $49 Shopify store. And I mean, for $49, you can't really complain too much. You have a general store here with lots of different products all ready to go. And this is from a site called Ecom Brand. So with this, you get a full course as well and all different softwares and apps already installed to your store. If we look at the product page itself, it's pretty simple, straight to the point, sticking with a white background, which is always higher converting than other colors. And overall, it has a pretty nice branding approach, especially if you're getting into e-commerce. This can be a good way to get started without having to build a store completely from scratch. In addition to the course and the community, I think this is a pretty good offer for just $49. Now this store here, Quiet Bounce, has been able to generate just under $70,000 in revenue just starting this month, and it only started on February the 12th. Now, if we look at the sales here, we can see it's reaching the highs of just shy of 6K a day, 5.5 here, with the main sales channels being Instagram and TikTok. This product has been pretty viral all over TikTok with videos like this, turning up almost everywhere on my feed, so I can see where it's performing so well. Now there's been 1,600 orders in this time period and it seems to be growing more and more. Now as we head across to the homepage, we can see the real difference here between the $49 store and this. This is really well built out. You have all different animations in place. You have a rolling header at the top, which is going to increase engagement on the store. It's clear that there's 3 to 5 days shipping to the US, which again is ticking boxes in the heads of your consumers. The brand looks pretty cleanly laid out. You can see the boxes and images of the product itself, and overall the design is pretty nice, just centering all around this one particular brand. The great thing about a one product store is that your conversion rates are going to be much higher because it feels like a real brand rather than a dropshipping business. Also, what I quite like, as standard, it's set to the normal size 7, which is the largest basketball, rather than selecting one of the cheaper sizes. And it's small things like this which you can actually implement into your brand. Now going down to the review section, 4.99 is further customer trust and social proof with real reviews all written over the brand. And I think combined with a winning ad creative, this store is going to do really well in the future. This store was able to do $750,000, almost $1 million in revenue in the last 12 months, but now it's actually mine. So this brand here is a pretty general store selling all different kind of things, mainly around women's fashion. Now the thing about this store is that we're running every single ad on this particular brand through Pinterest. Now at the moment, Pinterest is a little bit of a gold mine in Germany and the US, with ad spend being extremely low. It's easy to scale, and when you set up an ad account, you get a one-on-one rep to make sure your ads are in the right place. Now if this was on Facebook, you would have to be spending millions of dollars a year just to get an assigned rep who's a real person. So if we jump into the store itself, it's nothing crazy and nothing fancy, but straight to the point, selling around women's products. And then we have a few different things like a mop and other products that we want to test out on this general store. And it proves as a pretty good testing ground before we launch a one product brand. Our sculpting bodysuit is one of the best performing products right now. As you can see here on the product page, we're displaying the different gifts of the product itself and who it could potentially target. And then further just clearly defining what the product is, how it's being sold, without explaining it in a big chunk of text. You have to remember, when you're designing a store on the laptop, most people aren't going to be reviewing it on a computer and instead clicking off an ad from their phone. So ideally, everything needs to be built on the mobile app setting on Shopify. You can do this on your computer and just make sure everything is aligned when scrolling through your phone. We have a clearly defined size chart as well, so all the questions are answered and every product page on this site is built out in the same way there. You can virtually copy this template with a review of social trust, linked down with different headlines explaining the product further, and a GIF or a video of before and after is also great, a different kind of product, but just choose what's going to work best with your brand. If we click into the back end of the sales, we can see just over $750,000 in revenue. We have around 30,000 people subscribed to our email mailing list, and around 40,000 customers in total. That doesn't mean you can email everybody. We have 30,000 people who we can send SMS and email into and have clicked subscribe either at checkout or before they purchase a product. A 2.62 conversion rate is pretty decent for a store like this. However, in the last month, we've been able to get up to a 3% conversion rate and an AOV of $45. Again, it's pretty high, but we're testing so many different products, it's hard to judge a store just off that number in this particular case. We have a full-time virtual assistant for this store to manage all of our customer service inquiries, to send out shipping information, and they communicate directly with the supplier as well. So for this brand right now, all we're doing is refreshing the ad creatives and communicating a little bit with the supplier. But apart from that, most of it is on autopilot for now. You sometimes find the best products in the weirdest niches. You may think it's going to be a revolutionary product, something nobody's ever seen before, that it's going to perform best. But in fact, from my past success in mops and cleaning supplies, I know that this store is something that not a lot of people were thinking of, but it's a huge untapped market as of right now. So this store is actually called Potted. It sells done for you pottery kits that you can take home and make your own little pottery. They're selling their basic pack at the moment for 54 euros, so around $60. And they have multiple different upsells and products and variants of this pottery kit, from 1 kit, 2 kits, 3 kits, and then all different types of variations of the pottery kit itself. Again, they use the hack from the silent basketball at the start of the video, leaving the variant on 2 to start off with, so then people are more likely to click downwards. And this middle price in here, as a recommendation for the brand, all they could do is set this a little bit higher towards the 3 kit range to make it even more reasonable to go up to the 3 kits. But it seems like they're performing pretty well, because when we jump into the sales here, they're doing around 560k every single month, which for a pottery kit store to do 27k a day is actually pretty amazing. And it seems like they have some sort of element of MRR here as well, where people will order in kits every single month, time and time again. Now, MRR is super valuable on exit, because when you're going ahead and selling your brand, if it's getting in 2, 3, 4, or 10k a month every single month recurring from your customer, either through an MRR upsell, which could be additional mop heads or additional pieces of the product that need to be used every single month, or it's something that's an MRR product in total, that's going to add extra value to your business on exit. If we dive into the product page a little bit further, we have the 3 to 5 day shipping time, as we did on the silent basketball store as well. But we also have all different parts of reviews, other additions to the product page, and overall it's laid out very, very nicely all around the pastel colors of clay as well. They have further social proof options as well, as seen in BuzzFeed, Time Out, and all of these other articles. And they again have a scrolling header as well, and other banners all in place, showing the people actually using their pottery kit in person, which, especially when you're trying to build a long-term brand, this is what you need to see, is the product in action with real people. And then following the homepage, it's almost like a long sales funnel here, showing more people with the product in hand and how it actually works throughout the whole process. Now, the next brand is using a strategy called media stacking. Now, media stacking is still relatively new. It's when you set up multiple pages on Instagram, TikTok, or any other social media platform, copying your brand name, the image, the style of video, and just mass creating videos on these different accounts. Instead of doing one account where you're all reliant on those video performances, you can set up 15 or 20 accounts and go it en masse. Now, this brand, which I'm about to show you, has been able to master this so successfully in the luxury niche. They've been using slideshow luxury videos like this one, portraying the brand as a luxury item and then linking it well with the style of the old money vibes. So let's jump into the sales first and then actually show you what the main product is and how the store has been able to brand itself through those ads that I just showed you. So this brand is currently doing 23k months, and most of that is just through organic on TikTok. It's done 1,400 sales, and some of its main products right now are its watches. They look similar to sort of an AP, a Patek, but obviously at a fraction of the price. And for people who want that style, the old money style, to be on the beach club and not having to worry about the $100,000 watch being lost, this can be something that's pretty appealing. You have stars replicating Rolexes, AP Royal Oaks, and many other different watches on this store, as well as jewelry products. Now, they've been able to brand this really nicely in a luxury niche. And if we see here on the product page of the Phantom watch, you can see different colors being laid out very nicely. Overall, the store looks very branded, which is wonderful to see, and simple description straight to the point with everything else laid out at the bottom. I don't think this brand has been running for that long, but it's been able to generate quite a bit in terms of sales, and I've been able to look through all of these sales for these different brands through dropship.io. Now, dropship.io gives me a bit of a better insight into the brands, what's actually selling, and you can sort by the products as well to see what's the best selling product there. So if you're unsure of what product to pick, especially when launching a new store or testing a new product, this could be a really good way to cross-check and make sure it's the right product to sell now. Obviously, there's more factors that play into it, how they're branding it, how long the store has been around for, and how they're actually generating the sales through what sources. But this gives me a great overview before I go in and spend hours and hours into researching the product and how we're going to go ahead and launch it. Now, finally, the $100 million e-commerce brand. What this brand is currently doing could change the game for e-commerce almost forever. And the concept they've taken here, you can use on many other brands and stores that you want to launch in the future as well. And with a valuation over $100 million right now, this is the brand. It's called Aligner Co, and it's similar to what you would have with Invisalign. Now, if you didn't know what Invisalign was, all it is a retainer that you get every few weeks after taking scans of your teeth, and it slowly makes them straighter again. Now, the major problem about Invisalign is that it's $3,000 to $4,000 a time, depending where you are, and you're gonna have to go to the dentist every single time. Instead, Aligner Co, you can straighten your teeth at home. It's a fraction of the price, and has 2,000 reviews on Trustpilot as well. The thing about this kind of product is people are willing to pay thousands of dollars to make their smile look better, better or to improve parts of their well-being, their life, their lifestyle. So it makes total sense to, instead of having to go to the dentist, which lots of people actually fear in the first place, is that they can sit back from home and straighten their teeth there. Now, it's $845, so it is a high ticket store, but it's priced and designed in a way of something much lower ticket. And one of the best parts which you can implement on your brand is them using flexible payment options. Now, if you're in the EU, Klarna Pay works great. If you're in the US, it's probably going to work best using something like Affirm or Afterpay. But Alignco are doing this so well right now. They have a phone customer service here as well. So everything is aligned very, very nicely. It feels like a full brand, and this kind of thing is not dropshipping. However, the way that the fulfillment is laid out here is that lots of these retainers are actually made in Mexico under Aligner technologies, and they're all manufactured in the same place. And throughout the process, you can easily upsell different parts. If they want straighter teeth or better teeth, you can sell them an extra 2, 3, 4, 5 retainers here as well. If we take a deeper dive into the landing page, you can clearly see that this is laid out all on Shopify through custom themes and templates using software such as Pagefly, and then custom coding on top of that as well. You have before and afters and testimonials on everywhere in the website, as well as a results tab to show what people are actually generating with this kind of product. Now, if you're not sure what kind of product to get into and actually start in the first place, problem solving can be one of the best ways to go. And they can be problem solving in any aspect of life, whether it's your day-to-day, whether it's kitchen utensils or with beauty and different physical improvements like you can with Alignco.